All right, we're back. And in this training, we are talking about how to manage SMS text messaging inside of your business platform, ClientKit. We're going to walk you through some of the biggest methods to be able to manage text messaging, because guess what? You're probably going to be using text messaging pretty regularly. And so what we're going to walk you through is how to actually go in and say, cool, how do I actually send text messages? How do I actually go through this process? We're going to walk you through some of those different methods. Now, I do want to make this clear is that these methods are only going to apply to text messages that are coming in, and how to send those messages outbound. Outbound means you're sending them out via one-on-one text messages, okay? We are not going to be covering how to send out automated or bulk text messages inside of this specific training. There's some rules that you have to follow around that. And so we're not going to be talking about automated or any of that inside of this specific training. So let's just make that clear, okay? So that's what I went ahead and just addressed right here. What about automated text message and reminders? Again, don't worry. We have an entire training that's going to be walking you through how to set up automated SMS, how to send out calendar reminders, how to do that. That is an entire automations training. But right now, inside of this training, we are just going to be walking you through what does it look like on the one-on-one format. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the two different methods on here. The first one is going to be through the conversations tab. So if you go over to conversations, in this case, I don't have any. I have one that's unread. I'm going to go over to all. Go over to our buddies, LeBron James and Elon Musk over here, okay? And then right over here, you are going to see that it does allow me to go ahead and send an SMS text over to LeBron James, right? So I can come over here and I can say, hi, how are you, LeBron? You and I are buddies, okay? And then right over here, it does give me the option down here that I can go ahead and hit send. I can actually go ahead and click clear over here as well. Now, the other thing I can also do, and this is a very cool feature, is if I click on this, it'll actually allow me to schedule my SMS as well, which is very, very cool. And it does also show me, hey, what date do you want to do that? And what time do you want to do that? And then the time is specifically going to decide, hey, this is going to be the contact's time zone. And you can decide to change that as well if you actually want to. Okay, so that's scheduling your SMS. The other couple cool things on here, obviously you can attach files as well. You can add emojis on here. You can insert templates as well. You can also request payment, and then they also do have other things you can add on here, right? So let's say, for example, you wanted to add a different token. So a token is going to be filling in some sort of information from the actual contact's profile. This might be a little bit more advanced, so I'm not going to go through it right now, but I just want you to know that that does actually exist there, okay? So right here, I'm going to go ahead and what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this. Now watch what's going to happen here, okay? Because I'm going to do what we told you not to do, which is that for this specific account right now, the A2P process has not been approved yet, okay, for this specific business and for this account, because it's just a demo account. So guess what? I'm going to go ahead and send this, and let's see. Okay, again, do not do this. If your A2P is not approved, do not do this, okay? And so what you're going to see, just like that, it does go ahead and give you that error right over here, okay? So let me see if I can go ahead and I'm going to zoom in, and you'll see that it tells me, if I go ahead and put my mouse over that asterisk right over there, it does tell me, hey, A2P registration is pending. You're sending a message using a local or mobile number that does not have A2P registration taken care of yet. If you actually want to go ahead and send out text messages immediately, you would need to first purchase a toll-free number and complete the registration for that. We've already walked you through what that looks like. If you don't know what we're talking about when we say toll-free number, then make sure you go through that training section where we explain, like, hey, it's double the cost, but it allows you to send text messages immediately if you decided you want to do that. But our recommendation was not to do that. But again, you see how it says unsuccessful. This is the reason why, is because A2P has not been registered yet, okay? However, I just wanted to show you what it is going to look like. And then there's these three dots right over here, right? So if I zoom in, you'll see these three dots right over there. And then if I click on details, it's also going to show me, hey, this is the number that it's coming from. This is who that text message is going to. It also tells me, hey, who is the user who is sending that message, right? And then it does tell me that that message was failed because of the reason that we just talked about, okay? So again, this is what we would say, do not do this. We're just showing you what it would look like if you were gonna send out a text message via SMS or email, very important on here. Now, the other couple important things, and we might mention this in other trainings, we might not, I just wanna go ahead and make this clear over here, is that there are also these D&D options. D&D means do not disturb. So let's say, for example, a client says, hey, you know what, stop messaging me or something. Then automatically it's going to go ahead and turn these on. Or you can say, you know what, this client told me that they don't want to receive emails. So just so that way you don't automatically send them automated emails and stuff like that, you can actually turn on D&D on a per client basis as well, or per contact basis, rather, I should say over here, right? So you can go ahead and turn that on there as well. But that is how you would do it via the conversations tab. Now on the actual contact page, very similarly to how we've shown in the past, you can go over to contacts, or you can go to the quick search on here. You can go ahead and click on, let's say, whoever you want to contact. In this case, let's say Elon Musk. It's going to have the exact same platform prompts right over here in terms of SMS versus email. You can have an SMS on here. It does also allow you to schedule the message. All of everything else that we just talked about is exactly the same. And then over here, hi, Elon, let's go to Mars, okay? Let's say, for example, I sent this. Now, it is also going to go ahead and probably give me unsuccessful, exactly the same reason that we just talked about, but I'm just walking you through what it looks like to be able to go ahead and send text messages via the contact page here as well. So those are the two primary ways that you are going to go ahead and send out one-on-one messages. Of course, like I said, bulk messages are going to be via automations that we'll talk about in a different training. And then obviously this is going to be how you can reply back to text messages as well. Okay, now are there other features and other kind of ways that you can send out text messages? Sure. Which method are you going to use? We're just showing you the ABCs, so that way once you want to do something in your business, let's say for example it's a little bit more advanced, you know what the building blocks of that are, and you know what the tools on your tool belt are, so that way you can actually go out and do the thing that you're looking to do in your business. And so there's going to be different situations for you to use maybe the conversations tab versus the contact page, but now you know exactly how to do both. And then guess what you're going to do? You're going to go out there, and if you are, this is very important, if your phone number is already A2P 10DLC approved, then you can go out there and test this, okay? Unlike, phone calling or something that we've shown in the past, you don't have to wait for your registration to be approved to do phone calls, but for text messages you do. And so we would recommend only testing this right now if you are sure that your A2P 10DLC registration is approved. If you need to check that, you just go over to settings, phone numbers, and then there's going to be a trust center there that you can check inside of those actual settings. Okay, so you can check if your A2P 10DLC is approved. If it is, go ahead and test it. If it's not yet, that you can wait for it to get approved and then make sure that you test it, because remember, it is the reps and the action that you are taking that is going to allow you to actually acquire the skill of having to do this. Do not wait to be like, oh yeah, I think it's going to work because they showed me in the training, and then all of a sudden when you actually need it, you don't know how to use it. Make sure you are doing the reps. Very, 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 very important. We've used this Vince Lombardi quote in the past before. The difference between a successful person and the one who is not a lack of knowledge or a lack of strength, but a lack of will and actually doing the action. Okay, so making sure that your efforts are turning into a reality. So make sure you're staying focused and driven and taking action. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been this training on how to manage SMS text messaging inside of ClientKit.